Hello everyone and welcome back. We're in for our second series of the night, kicking it off on King's Row, starting where we left off, and we do have University College London versus University of Birmingham. Definitely a battle for the ages. Both strong teams, and I'm excited to see what they bring out here.
So we've got Birmingham back on. We've just seen them on King's Row. They're back on King's Row. They do not want themselves. Happy to start off on King's Row themselves. So we will see much of the same once again. Suwon will jump onto the Reaper. Probably not going to continue playing that. Might do. We did see it last time. And now we're going to see Pseudo Treehouse coming out from the side of London. They're going to be playing on the top side. So what it is going to be up to Birmingham to do is force them off the high ground, which will probably mean send the Reinhardt forward, sitting on the point, force them to drop down, and after that, use Kirkmania and all that cleave damage from the mine to take them out.
They do have an interesting thing here. So they have T on this Farah. This is not a permanent pick. I think I saw them do it last week. They shoot a concussive blast at the high ground to boop everyone off. That is the plan here. I can confirm that.
What an absolute strat. Okay, I actually like this strat because obviously Orisa has no tools, so it takes
okay, they're not doing it.
onto the top ground. T is a she.
Yeah.
I've been told T is a she.
I did say that.
Is a she. Alright, fair enough. T, you are a she. I do apologize. You've played extremely well. And you know what? I will respect your gender.
Alright, regardless of anything related to that, we're going to see a load of spam come towards this high ground, and we're actually going to see them start to move over as they do come through Hotel. They're trying to counter that push, but Suwon, yet again, winning those Widow Jewels, which is so key. We do see the res come out, but we see, again, a lot of damage coming out from Kirkmania. Ace actually wins out the second fight. No res there yet. Psyche is trying to apply pressure from the other side. This is looking good. Ace finds a second pick. Psyche finds a third. And this is going to be Psyche getting in amongst it. The tire finds absolutely nothing. And this is UCL holding pretty well here.
Still, Birmingham were able to take 2 ticks on the point. Mostly down to Faz playing as such an aggressive Reinhardt with Cloudy cycling out those shields. It was unfortunate that they did not have the resources available to counter or punish the res that came out from London. Psyche now has a Riptide as well, but Suwon takes down Euros. Do they have the res available? Yes, they do. We'll bring them back up again, but it's going to give time for Faz to get to the point with his barrier relatively untouched.
Yeah, that was actually a really beautiful shot. Taking Vex does take down Faz T. Will fill it up a little bit, and Suwon will win that Widow Jewel again. UOB Zeus are still looking to hold here. They have taken it, and it's going to be a retreat put in order for the side of UCL as just picks come out everywhere.
So these initial picks coming out from the side of Birmingham, extremely strong. They had to bring the Orisa back in the fight because they had to contest this high ground. And after that, it became so easy for Birmingham to storm on through because they did not have the res available for Ace, which allowed them to stay in this one last time.
We do actually see Psyche swap over into the Hanzo, and I feel like the Hanzo's a pretty good pick and can do a lot of damage to that shield, and also brings a lot of that burst that will help get through some of these tanks.
Yeah, their win condition now is basically Graviton Dragon Strike. They'll probably try and wait out for the longest because they did have to forfeit their ult percentages, though, switching off. They won't have that for a little while, and instead it will be Kirkmania with a Riptide.
Yeah, and he's looking for a flank with it here. It's coming on in. Really good movement from him, but Green Republic will still find that fire to strike, and they're gonna move forward here. They know that there's less ultimates to punish them. Swig does use this tempo Valkyrie here, so they move on in here. That's a nice lockup, but they need to get the follow-up. They do get a couple of mines in there, but Mania is gonna take down a lot more. That is a fantastic shatter, and Faz will find more kills. That's gonna be second point going over to UOB Zeus in a pretty damn fast time.
Extremely clean. They used the Graviton to lock them in place. They saw both of the Zarya shields go down. Very happy was Faz to just wait out and hold the shield up and then start swinging into it. Got the percentage up, and then out of nowhere came down the Earth Shatter. I don't think London were expecting it, and they're going to get this first corner for basically free.
And they have just been taking so much for free due to good pick timings, and Suwon wins that battle again. Doesn't quite find Bun Bun, who escapes with their life and does get off that res. So Ace is up for a second fight. Suwon does come on up and he gets sent straight back down 10 feet under. It's going to be UOB Zeus continuing to push forward regardless though. And Kirkmania with a concussion mine is going to find the kill onto Ace, and they're going to keep on going. The Dragon Strike does come through to try and zone them. They're popping ults all over the place. Coalescence is keeping people healthy as they do move on in here. Ace finds a kill on the Gritty Republic, and this is going to be the Transcendence forced out.
Transcendence goes down, not enough to quite take it on Jurios out of the fight with that Riptide. Ace to find Suwon. They don't have the res to bring him back into the fight, but a double kill from the Flame Strike will keep Birmingham in this one for a little bit while longer.
And Gritty Republic does dive all the way off the map. Unfortunately, doesn't even take anyone with him. And this is UOB Zeus taking this with a hell of a lot of time on the clock.
They have it in the bag. 3 points down, and again, another impressive 3 minutes plus time back. Now that we go into the next round, and it's going to be Hattie London bringing out all the stops today because they cannot let any more points come through for these guys. They've got to make a quick run round, otherwise Birmingham are going to have a very decent chance on their second attempt to push it all the way through.
Yeah, and honestly, I think if Ace can start to turn around these fights, so it generally goes that Suwon will pick him, the res will come through, and then he will pick Suwon. If they can swap this around so he's finding those initial picks, they'll definitely feel a lot more comfortable. They are even tentatively bringing out this Pharah, which is really interesting to see into things like that.
Yeah, at the moment, Ace is actually contesting Suwon very well. I don't know, because to me it seems like Suwon's not using the LOS to his advantage a lot of the times. Because as an attacking Widow, it should be a lot easier to find the picks onto the enemy Widowmaker, because at any time you can switch attention from tanks to the Widow. Whereas to your defensive Widow, you've got to be more tentative because you've got to be dealing with the tanks, but you've also got to keep an eye out for the attacking Widow. So Suwon really shouldn't have ever been dying in those circumstances because he should have been applying the pressure. Now we're on the flip side of things. I'd like to see how Ace plays for now and uses those flanks to his advantage.
And as you said, Ace will do so. And it's definitely down to the reses of Bun Bun that he's been able to actually continue to have an impact in this game, because he has been dying first, as I did highlight, and if he keeps on dying first, it will be very difficult for UOB to actually take over UOB Zeus.
Yeah, because they need that res for crucial moments, like bringing up Green back into the fight. The Reinhardt is critical, so if you're always having to focus your reses onto Ace after he dies initially in the fight, it becomes very difficult for your front line to jump in without feeling the pressure of everything.
They are looking for an opportunity here. We do see a hook attempting to come out inside of Swig, but doesn't find much. It's going to be Psyche continuing to rain down shots, and it's actually going to only really be Suwon who can contest him, because Kirkmania will struggle there. Faz does turn his shots towards him. Cloudy, again, what a fantastic player in contesting enemy DPS. Will go down in the end, and now Suwon has to keep an eye out. He does manage to take Psyche right out of the sky. Scream and pull. We're going to see UOB Zeus move forward. We're going to see Zarya actually pressure a lot here, as we do have Kirkmania falling back.
Now Ace picks up the kill onto Suwon, so Green goes in. Stopped by the Fortify on Faz and immediately taken down. So this is giving a little bit of pressure back onto London. Valkyrie is popped, so these guys are gunning for the win.
Yeah, and Bun Bun gets taken out with the tire straight away, unfortunately, there. Faz will look for some more shots onto this Pharah, but it will just be them sending them packing. They're looking for an advantage, though, when they have this spawn advantage.
I love this triple tank comp the UOB play. A lot of times they have Swig on the Roadhog, they have D.Va, they have Orisa. So all times a lot of last lines of defense. Cloudy goes up to stop the barrage, which is grabbed, and Bun Bun is forced back.
This is yet again Kirkmania being fantastic, finding multiple shots onto airborne targets. He does, alongside Swig, send them packing yet again, man. UOB Zeus are on fire.
They really are, and this time they know Bun Bun's going for the res, so they pull out the whole hog, punish it there and then. And this is what I want to see more out of UOB, is punishing that res, leaving some resources available to take it out when it comes up, because Bun Bun it telegraphs the res so often. Now she has the Valkyrie though, so we'll tempo this next fight. And Vex also has a Transcendence just in case things get hairy. They are also coming up on the Graviton, so it's up to Durios to stay alive in this fight.
Swig will find a nice hook, but there is that shield coming out. The bubble will deny that. Does find a nice kill into Durios, but the return kill does come out. He is traded, but Psyche's trying to load a lot of damage. But unfortunately, Vex will get completely burst. That's really rather unfortunate as UCL continue to try and fight, but their shield gets taken out, and Kirkmania will capitalize on that, as he has been throughout this entire series and the previous one.
So the moment UOB, this is go time for London, because they have the win condition, they have Graviton Dragon Strike, they also have the Valkyrie with the damage boost to make sure it goes through. So the best thing for UOB to do right now is play split. T needs to back off, but Psyche going down there means the key component to Graviton Dragon Strike is out of the fight. 6 seconds remaining, they've got to do something, they've got to do it quick.
Yeah, he would have put the Dragon into Dragon Graviton combo, but they're going to look forward and lose another man. Bun too far forward, and Kirkmania and Swig playing on this flank are just completely destroying anyone who tries to step to them, as they are setting the tune of this dance. Suwon has continued to be aggressive on this Tracer now, but will just delay time more than anything, and that's all he really needs to do.
So now Psyche, he really wants to get the Graviton Dragon Strike up, but at the moment they're getting a little bit impatient, and Swig is to take advantage of that. If Cloudy can block either the Dragon Strike or the Graviton, things will go very much in the favor of UOB.
We do see the supercharger, and we see...
He does!
Oh my god, that's just horrific! Kirkmania fighting two with the tire, and everything is falling apart for UCL. They found a couple of picks, but it's just not going to be enough unless they really pull it out of the bag here. Durios is continuing to be aggressive, but he's getting kited around the shield. Green Republic is getting completely harassed by so many members. Does find some damage onto his backline. Ace is starting to make his name known as he does go aggressive onto the backline. The Diva self-destruct is still here. Is going to find Psyche, and so many members at the side of UCL are struggling. The pulse bomb does go in. It does get eaten up by the bubble. We're going to see multiple members fall down. Kirkmania and Suwon doing a lot of damage. Suwon does fall, but Kirkmania does at least try and go out with a bang. But his rest of his team is struggling here. Cloudy, it's going down. We do see the Lucio come to back up, and Durios does manage to help his team get back on. They're contesting still. We see the last Lucio. Swig is trying to do something here as Faz comes back on. It's one hell of an overtime as they continue to fight, but too many members from UCL are here, and they're going to beat them back in the final seconds.
London are not letting up yet. They stand tall on the point, and they will finally take this one over into Streets phase. Cloudy read the opponent like an absolute buck there, blocked the Graviton, and this is when it comes into being an off-tank who can control the way of the fight and also read ultimate charges on the enemy team. So he knew the Graviton was coming, managed to block it the very beginning of that hugely long fight, and after that, it was actually Durios who found an extra Graviton, which was able to pull T out of her res before she can get it off, which allowed them to take the point. Now Swig's coming back on the Zenyatta with full force. Actually just frags out and takes Ace out of this one.
The Dragon Strike used a little bit early there, not quite what you wanted to do. Durios Stavros is gonna go down, and Suwon has been fantastic so far. Members of UCL are falling all around, and this Junkrat on the high ground is one hell of a force to be reckoned with. A force of nature. The Exploder kills King. I messed up that reference, but it's fine because you get what I meant.
Oh, we do indeed, bro. I'll take it. Kirkmania has the Riptide now available as well, so he can nice and pretty pamper himself in a small corner somewhere, put on some makeup, and then pull out of the Riptire and look for some kills in the backline. He ideally wants to go for Bun, make sure he can punish that res before it's even able to come out. But Green Republic, he has the Earth Shadow here, and unless Faz can block it, he will have to force onto the enemy team, and that's their only win condition in the situation.
Psyche being aggressive. It's Suwon finding a shot, winning the Widow battle when he's not playing Widow. Kirkmania has this tire as well, the ever-important tire that he constantly finds picks on the backline. Faz is going aggressive. Cloudy is in their mix too. Bun is having to fall back. Durios Davros losing life by the second. Dies again, and just this spam, man. It's everywhere.
I mean, they don't have a sniper on the team anymore, but I'm pretty sure Faz is kind of playing Widow. He's been so accurate with his flame strikes so far, finding damage onto the backline at all times. He even like managed to clip Psyche all the way in the back and take him out with a single flame strike. Now they've only got 22 seconds. We are in last fight territory, and we're taking a look at the ultimates, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 6-stack versus 3.
Yeah, and they do just waste it on Vex. Sorry, not waste, just utilize it on Vex, locking him out the fight. He does have to pop that Transcendence. They force it out from the tire, gets Greeny, and with Greeny gone, it's going to be a real wild ride as they do get so much damage just dropped onto them in buckets. You see Psyche trying to bring things out, but that Dragon Strike misses a lot of people, and the damage just isn't there. Bun Bun trying to contest, but just eats a lot of damage, and that will be it over here. As in overtime, going to be UOBC's taking this map.
Vex is just trying to get back to the point, but it's all done and dusted here. Faz has just got out the broom. The janitor on Birmingham cleaning up the mess that's London, and they're out of here. They put up a great fight. First point, it looked like it was going to Birmingham, but London were able to stay strong, but they stopped them here on Streets phase, and Birmingham will be taking King's Row.
And certainly well-deserved, fantastic play from Cloudy. Definitely on this Zarya. On pretty much everything he's been playing, he has been awesome. And this is just one of those moments of greatness.
At the moment at Birmingham, these players are absolutely carnivorous. They smell blood at all, they will come after you like a pack of wolves. We'll be moving over to a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, while we get the next map sorted out. When they're back, we will be me and Rook taking away the next casting. We'll get you. We'll make it fun. We'll make it fun and exciting for you.
Certainly will. Hello everyone and welcome back. We're going into our second game of the second match between UOB and, of the night, and the game is between UOB and UCL. UOB taking first blood here, one map up, taking King's Row pretty definitively, and now we're moving to Junkertown. That's our second map.
Junker World?
Junker World, yes, that.
Where's Blizzard Town? That's what I want to know. So here we are on Junkertown itself, down under, having a barbie with the players at the moment. This is a map that heavily relies on Orisa, just because she has a shield that she can place anywhere, and with such open spaces on point A, it makes it so easy for her to position herself without being a Reinhardt who actually has to put his entire body on the line at all times and can only really cover a small part, whereas Orisa can control one section and control another just with her own body.
And that Orisa, as you said, very strong. And that halt hook. That's what we're looking at here on both sides so far. Greeny Republic and Swig fulfilling those Roadhog duties. And Swig, we saw this man last series. We saw this man this series. This guy's pretty good on this Roadhog.
He is, indeed. Swig plays into the areas where the teams don't expect him to. The thing that you tend to see with Swig is that a lot of the times Roadhogs will be very aggressive, but he tends to hold flanks and be where you don't expect him to be. So when you do engage, you engage him to a very fat pig, and it's not always the best of times to after that. We will see Pirate Ship coming immediately out of UOB, which I did not expect, but I'm happy to see it. They have a very strong tank core using Cloudy with the Diva Matrix when the shield goes down.
Kirkmania on this hit scan for once has been playing Projectile the entire series so far, and the one before that, Green Republic getting completely chewed out. His mother is not very happy with him at all, and Kirkmania is certainly sending a strongly worded letter as they just roll on through here.
Vex is in a very bad position.
Yeah.
Come on, leave him alone. He just wants to get back to his friends. So the point, this is the problem. You play one, you play Mercy, and that's all you really need to play. And then you have a very strong tank core here with Cloudy Diva, just to make sure nothing goes wrong. And you also have to deal with Suwon. So your attention really has to be split between the Bastion as well as some serious flanks that could potentially happen. And you see there, UCL, they're not even allowed to proactively set up because Suwon's finding the picks as they push around the corner. Come on, dude. Come on.
It's a little bit unfair. Suwon has been on top of these aim duels, has been winning them left, right, and center, continuing to find picks. Goes down to 16 HP, but his team's just rolling on through. He is just a distraction for this huge tank that's rolling on through. Some people call it a pirate ship. Honestly, it reminds me a little bit of a Predator from Warhammer, where you've got that big machine gun on the front.
Oh yeah, to be fair, for all the Warhammer fans out there, I don't like that, so I'll take it. I mean, I've never tried to paint one because it looks pretty daunting to me. There we go. We see Swig being Swig, being in the place that you don't expect him to be, pulls him in, and they take point B just like that. 6 minutes on the clock, ladies and gentlemen, and Cloudy already has a Diva Matrix, which he's going to throw out to get back into his mech. Fortifies up to keep you safe from that one.
No, he will not be getting back in his back because Ace finds that kill, and now Suwon and Ace having a little bit of an interesting Widow duel. Ace will lose out, but will also lose his life because Kirkmania is on the job, working together with the rest of his team to get that job done. It's going to be a Dragon Strike going right on through him, though, and he will go down finally. Psyche managing to utilize that ability well, and as a result, we'll be sending them right back.
So they didn't actually push this too far out, and UCL invested a lot of ultimates to get them off the point, which means that pretty much now they've got a couple of picks. You know what? Kirkmania could potentially get back on the point as Bastion, but he does switch over to the Junkrat. 2 Orisa Bongos come out, but it will be UCL's going down first.
Swig does a hell of a lot of damage and pumps it all into Urias Davros. The Ace is starting to frag back, being pretty good on this Widow, starting to find a lot of shots, but unfortunately it just isn't enough against these high health heroes and this shield.
So now Faz pushing around the corner, use the halt. There's nothing to back up onto that, so that's going to go on cooldown for a little while. So at the moment, UCLs can play a little bit more aggressive. Kirkmania takes an aggro position up top side, drops down quite afterwards, but Green Republic, not in a great position, is forced to use all of the Diva Matrix there, and there is the Hanzo Dragon Strike. Not finding anyone, but does split up the team of UOB.
It was an attempt to be a zoning ultimate, but unfortunately it was just completely useless. We're going to see this self-destruct come through. The Hail Mary play from Cloudy to give them a crazy time bank on here. It's going to be about 4.5 minutes. What the hell, UOB Zeus?
The Diva self-destruct, like, so far Cloudy's had, I can see what he's trying to do. He goes for some of these high-tech Diva self-destructs where sometimes they don't hit. We saw the one that went straight into Mondata's face and didn't quite go anywhere, but that is a time where these high-tech self-destructs do work. He shot it straight into the valve on the top side, and it obviously the momentum from the boosters will continue to push it downwards until it goes into the small spawn room, and the people who thought they were safe in there, well, Cloudy had another thing coming for them.
He certainly did. Master of Surprises has been fantastic, catching people out alongside Swig. When people are just pushing up too far, he is constantly there to push them right back where they belong, 6 feet under. And my memory just reminds me of the 2 rounds we've seen on King's Row. He's just been diving that high ground, sorting people out and giving so much space.
So now, I mean, you're completely right, and space is something that they're going to have to be very cognizant of in this next fight, because not giving pirate ship space is conducive to success in this, right, for UOB. So what they want to do is they'll probably know that in this case UCL will want to run it, so they're going to push it all the way to the front. At least that's what I would do in this situation. It's why you'll see Cloudy going through the small room. He wants to immediately dive upon the Bastion as well, using Kirkmania with that extreme burst. But they need to get rid of the shield straight away, but 800 shield means nothing to Roadhog's shotgun and Diva's shotguns as well.
Suwon is looking for a sick flank on this Widow. Looking for maybe a shot onto, the back headshot core that is there for Bastion, but it's going to be a bit of a struggle to find that shot. Definitely, he is up to the task, though, if anyone is. He's finding a load of shots. Sorry, you can see a lot of shots coming out from Kirkmania, understandably, on his back line, trying to split them off as well. That shield is managing to hold fast. Cloudy trying to deal with Psyche. They even force him off. This is big as Cloudy swoops on in, and this is going to be an opportunity. Swig does go down, but Kirkmania is doing a massive amount of damage. Green Republic will find Cloudy, though, and that's rather unfortunate. They're going to have to fall back. Suwon starting to find those shots, though, and if he can start to find those streaks, like we mentioned earlier, it'll be a huge opportunity for his team as UCL continue to push on through, though.
Psyche, not in a great position, just taken out by Diva gets back into the mech now. Sue on the right side. Vexed is in there, but Cloudy pushes him back. Green Republic behind the card, but Cloudy pushes him before he can get that hook off.
Yeah, and this is just fantastic Diva play coming out from Faz. He used that Hulk correctly, finding multiple headshots. Well, I say multiple, I mean a hell of a lot. This player has been fantastic so far. And dropping that supercharger, they're just going to win out here. A bit, as I say that, they lose so many members. Green Republic and Ace finding so many shots. Cloudy, your Diva self-destruct means absolutely nothing as Greeny Republic and co just send them packing.
So 2 minutes 36, they did hold for 1 minute 30, but what you are being surprising here is finding a proactive position on the high ground. This is what they need, and this is what UCL weren't able to do last time. So they got picked off early on, which meant they were able to get around the corner very quickly and take that position with the tank, or the Predator, as you like to call it, Rook itself. But Kirkmania, he has the Riptire, so he has to find this tank core. The moment Psyche is hiding on the top ground alongside Ace, who is looking to shoot the tire out of the sky.
Durios getting a lot of damage in there alongside Psyche will completely shoot through Swig, and this aggressive forward pushing is actually biting them in the behind here. Kirkmania does manage to dispatch some of them, and he's gonna drop that tire now, is looking for the opportunity, but Ace shoots it out of the sky. Again, some more clay pigeon shooting. Suwon gets taken out by Vexed, and UCL looking rather fine here as they move on in, just crushing any defense from UOB.
Julius Davros actually made an amazing that fight to pull Cloudy off from supporting his backline down to the ground, and then he had no boosters. They are off cooldown, so he was not able to support his backline on the high ground. But now we're on point C. This is where UOB have the potential to hold. This is where Pirate Ship becomes a little bit more hard to play because there are so many flanks that you can employ as they come out from the attacker's spawn.
They are just waiting on the fidget spinner, looking for an opportunity to dive off of its prongs. They've got a load of members there. There's only one who's not, and that's because he doesn't have a jump ability. Poor little Zenyatta stuck on the floor. Kirkmania now on this Genji. Interesting to see. And Suwon, not even playing his Widow, which you really expected. An ace with a beautiful counter pick is on this Brigitte, and it's going to be a real struggle for this dive to work at all. They completely read them, and Psyche drops that ultimate and shuts them all down. UCL with a fantastic understanding of what we're going to see from UOB here.
Yeah, they knew they were going to pull out the dive here on point C because it's a map that favors the team that can get the high ground better. So Ace moving over onto the Brigitte. This guy has been the MVP of UCL so far. Always bringing out exactly what I need and providing the picks that were essential to victory. So they quickly switch over onto Faz, jumps onto the Reinhardt, but his shield is already broken. And alongside with the bongos on top, it's not going to be hard for them to push it in.
See, I was going into that going, wow. UOB, what a fantastic time bank they have. And then we see UCL just come on in and get pretty much the same time.
Yeah, they've matched them here. They have around about 10-second lead on UOB. Not much when we look at it realistically. Here we're going to see which teams can push it the furthest towards point C. It's not often that you do see a 6-pointer on Junkertown, but it could potentially come out today. And UOB, they're going to be thinking to themselves now they have to play seriously. Suwon, he needs to not sort of play safer, but he needs to understand that his mechanics don't seem to be as good as Ace here. So possibly controlling the flanks and controlling the sight lines without going for any of these super aggressive plays, which might get him picked out and taken out the fight when his team really needs them. Instead, just play for his own team, apply the pressure to UCL.
And that is something about Suwon. He is a fantastic shot, great aimer. Has been playing more of other games, especially for last season, than he was of Overwatch. So definitely not got the knowledge that Ace has, and he was utilizing a lot of that raw aim ability to actually fight with Ace on even terms. And as we go to Junkertown here, he just doesn't have any understanding of as well as Ace is, and as a result, he just can't take these battles. And I think it's actually interesting to see him move towards this Tracer.
Yeah, Ace so far has been played Ace. I mean, he checks all the sight lines, so you'll see him check the right side here. He doesn't see Suwon, so now he's backing off. Suwon understands he needs to play Tracer here to challenge the Widow, but it doesn't matter as the majority of UOB are just getting taken out.
And that was due to a fantastic flank from Greeny Republic, just unloading so much damage into the side of them. Kirkmania died pretty much straight away. They had a main tank that was just getting chewed through, and it's just not what you want to see from UOB as they get pushed back again.
You know they have to do it to him at the moment. Cloudy has to remain over here, and they're desperately sitting behind this Portaloo here, but it's not enough to keep you alive for long enough. But Psyche gets pulled in, and that's their go point. But Ace finding Kirkmania has put a massive dent in their plans.
Dead memes aside, it's dead UOB here as Faz and the gang just all fall to the might of UCL, the capital, enforcing their will upon the rest of the people.
God, Ace has literally been the battering ram of UCL, and the rest of the team has been supporting him fantastically so far. He has been pocketed by Bun Bun a lot of the times, understanding that his red's a little bit more telegraphed than it should be, and at the moment it is playing well around that. Doesn't allow the enemy team to get too onto him, make sure his reses aren't punishable. And Ace has just been playing around Suwon so fantastically, there's nothing they can do. How can they contest this Widow?
And I mean, honestly, it's been a struggle. Suwon is trying to go to the high ground. Kirkmania can, just pop a tire on him. That's what he's been doing with a lot of people in this whole series, and he has been fantastic with that, and that is going to give his team control of the point finally, and they're going to shut down this comp from the side of UCL.
But is that the answer in this moment? I mean, Kirkmania is not going to always have the riptire. Sure, he builds the ultimate charge very, very quickly, but if he wants to remain on the point for as long as possible, he has to pull off these crazy stunts like that almost consistently, which is a difficult thing to ask for your Junkrat.
Honestly, if there is a player that I would ask of it on Junkrat in the NUEL, it is Kirkmania. Kirkmania has been generates ultimates in stupid fast times against some teams, especially in quad tank. Will be prevalent here as he does unload a lot of damage in, and there's just a load of cleanup. Interesting to actually see his Winston come through to try and fight against that Widow, and it's working out quite well for them.
I really enjoyed what Suwon went for there. Understood that Ace would be on high, and if you get the pulse bomb off, they would be forced to use the res. As soon as that came through, the tank line was no longer compromised. There's no Widow to shoot Winston in the head as he jumps over. He can use the Winston shield to prevent much of the damage coming out from Psyche, and after that, Cloudy rampaged onwards. So that was a very, very coordinated dive coming out from UOB. But now they have to contest with a Hanzo as well as Ace's Tracer.
I mean, they can't really contest when they don't have an Orisa who brings all of that shielding. It's going to be a real issue as we do see even the Diva Bomb come through. Doesn't quite find any kills, but Faz finding Psyche is going to just rob them of so much damage. Vex can't really get on in here as we see Swig with some brilliant target focus can lead his team on forward. And Green Republic does manage to find one, but it doesn't really matter as UOB Zeus are just finding kills all over the place.
They stalled Vex out quite late there, and now they've achieved some more ult bank. So if things start to get a little bit difficult, Faz is able to pop the Primal Rage, and the Diva Bomb is there to send into the back line once they know the shield is down and compromised. Swig also has the Transcendence to keep them alive a little bit longer, or also just get the res off if they need it. There are no ults on the side of UCL. This might be all over.
As we see a whole hell of a lot of explosions come out from UOB. They do destroy so many members of UCL, and that'll be the final one, ticking them all off their list as they tick it over overtime.
So, what we saw here is UOB began to understand how to play around, and now they have to do it again. Do they play the pirate ship here, or do they play double sniper? That is the question. But at this moment, I would feel that UCL will have a good idea how to counter the pirate ship. So I'm very interested to see what the guys on UOB decide to go with. And it looks like they will be pulling out the pirate ship once again. And Suwon is testing that Widowmaker. So we'll have to play these flanks a lot more carefully. Like I said, he does not need to go down to Ace so early. He can wait it out a little bit longer.
The thing is about this pirate ship comp for them, when they played aggressively, the only thing which took them off the cart was a Dragon Strike. When they played into it, they actually managed to use Cloudy to get it off. They did obviously expose their flanks, and it was fantastic. I think it was from Durios Davros on the Roadhog, and he had a fantastic flank going on. But UCL have just not been adept at getting people off of this comp, and actually taking a bit of a...
They're playing Goats, though. They're playing Goats, and Goats is centered around getting to the backline and taking out, ignoring the big tanks. So if they can get in the distance range of the Bastion, he's pretty much kind of under an onslaught of tanks, and that's exactly what we're seeing here.
And I mean, Psyche is kind of a little bit trapped here. Is mitigating a lot of damage, but that's a one high charge Zarya that's going to do a lot of damage to Cloudy, and they're actually continuing this fight. This is exactly the kind of one they want to take, as Psyche is getting away with far, far too much. Faz is continuing to put that spam in. Psyche doing a lot of damage, but luckily he does have all of that healing.
Well, look how much ult percentage both teams have accrued here. Psyche is already an Earth Shatter, and there is no shield available currently to block it. Faz finally puts one down, but Cloudy's not back in the mech, so they might not be able to contest this. And just with the sheer amount of healing coming out from Rally, Aura, and the Moira, things are going well. But if Kirkmania can continue to make such a mark on the playing field, they might not be able to contest with this one.
He just unloaded all of his bullets into their head, and they just fell before him and to their knees. All hail Kirkmania on this Bastion, because he is on fire, and so are his enemies' corpses.
I mean, I really like the way he played that right now, and I mean, it might seem like he's just firing bullets into the enemy team, but he did it in a very surgical manner. He took out Ace first, meant that there was no Zarya shields after that to prevent his damage from going through, and she couldn't build up. But immediately, they're bursting their way back onto the point.
Unfortunately, Ace does go down early, does drop that Graviton Surge, but Kirkmania, he doesn't need to move. He has all his teammates to cover for him, and he just destroys everyone, rips through them, in fact, and that's going to be first point.
T understood exactly what to do in that situation. She popped the Valkyrie, went up on high, made sure she not radius the 8 meters Graviton, and then just popped the Mercy ult, and that was enough to keep them alive as long as possible. Because you have to see, in the Goats comp, they don't have a heavy win condition like Dragon Strike, which will just end a fight quickly. They're all about taking out the support of the backline and then slowly but surely winning out the fights. Playing Goats on defense is a lot more difficult because you win some fights, but you're bound to lose others.
Is rather unfortunate. We just need to see UOB Zeus take one fight of the other. What?
Have that Diva bomb up in the top round.
Doesn't really hit all too much, but Faz is going to hold up here. They try to get a flank out, but there's so much damage. They didn't even use the shield correctly, and as a result, UOB Zeus are just going to chew through all of this health. It looks like it might just be game Bun Bun with a Desperation Coalescence and a Desperation drop in the beat from Vex. He's feeling funky, but unfortunately, Funk won't save you here. It's all going to hell for them as Zeus just show them what for, really.
Yeah, UOB, they played extremely well. They have played extremely well. And Kirkmania, unfazed by the Goats comp, as we see here, picks up the Quadra.
And man, what a player. He has been fantastic on so many things. Bringing out the hit scan for one of the first times we've seen from him. And he's no slouch on that either, for sure.
Well, apparently not. I mean, Bastion may as well be a hit scan, right? I mean, there's just a huge box in the middle. You just aim it in the general direction of the enemy team. But you got to give props to Kirkmania's team. They gave him so much support in the final round to make sure he was able to push it around the bend. But we don't tend to see 4 minutes 25 from both teams on Junker Town. Usually it goes one way or the other. It's exciting to see that. But I think, Rook, we'll probably be sending this one to a break once we get Hollywood up and sorted for you guys next.
Just a second. And as we said, it would be a very short time indeed. UOB versus UCL back on the screen for you. UCL backs against the wall. They've already lost, but can they strike back and at least take one map of the Titans that UOB have been in this game, this series so far?
Yeah, they took the last map with convincing aptitude. Now they're coming into the final map of the series, final map of the night, guys. Thanks for sticking around for so long and listening to our voices all night, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you guys at home and all the people playing the university. If you want to join one of the university teams, just hook up and make sure that you check out NUEL and their website. They have all the details of how to get involved with the games there. For the time being, let's watch UOB and UCL duck it out on Hollywood.
Speaking of Hollywood, I've put on screen now. You know the aliens that are in Overwatch? You know the aliens that are like, there's the spray and then there's the film in Hollywood? Don't you think they look like kind of like the ones from Simpsons?
Yeah, to be honest with you, yeah. I've had this thought before. Looks very similar to The Simpsons. I mean, is it the last point where there's like the big dangly one? That one is pretty much a direct representation of the one from The Simpsons. Speaking
of Simpsons, we're seeing some very fun and exciting comps as whenever you see a new episode of The Simpsons on Channel 4.
You think of Overwatch comps, right? It's the only thing to think of.
We do see Kirkmania on this Reaper, though, which is definitely interesting for him, honestly.
Yeah, this is because they understand that they're going to have to go very quickly. They find the the charge off, but it's not enough. Kirkmania's in the front line. They have nothing to deal with it.
He is being very aggressive. We see the shots try to come on into him. Ace has found 2 kills so far. Unfortunately, he's just not... Oh my god, a third? But he has now got a hammer in his face and 2 shotguns as well. He will go down here. Psyche is trying to unload some damage, but it's going to be only Ace who can find kills to this team as UOB Zeus just completely shut him down on that first point, locking him out.
I like that Bum pulled out the flintlock to try and contend with 2 Hellfire shotguns. It's not exactly how you expect it to go. And Green Republic will go down as well as, and Suwon and Kirkmania are happy to take down Duro Davros afterwards. They're really punishing these late spawns.
And they do just go super aggressive onto everyone. UAB Zeus channeling what we saw from them previously in other seasons, where they really did just have a very aggressive style and constantly did spawn peek. And yet again, this is something we see out of a lot of top UK teams, that they do emulate the style of M&M, who have been such a fantastic team and at the top of the region for such a long period of time. So we do see them playing that very hyper-aggressive style.
Yeah, of course, and it works so well in this current meta. Faz now has the Earth Shadow. He drops down when they're unaware, but it does take down Swig in the background, and Faz goes down fast afterwards. They're going to have to reset here. UOB have been pushed back by Ace once again, who finds headshot after headshot.
And without that shield, he has a field day. He has been on fire this map. Unfortunately, he's not had the greatest success on that first point, but starting to show up now alongside his team on the second point as they do beat them back.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Ace because a lot of the times finds the shots after the majority of his team down. It doesn't matter at that point because Faz and his buddy can just move on in. But finding Swigs like that at the start of the fight just forces UOB back again and again.
Ace was just really far up there. He's playing so aggressively now. He's trying to make everything happen for his team. Looking to try and carry out here, but he is taking some risks that could really end up in him going down and his team struggling. He does now move to a more sensible position, but as he's focused pigeonholed onto Kirkmania, he will get taken about Suwon. He will get refragged, but Kirkmania dives on in. The res does come through, but Kirkmania continuing to be aggressive and meeting it out properly.
Ace dropping onto the high ground now, looking for those shots from above. And it's so difficult to contest both these snipers because Rosaria and Reinhardt, they have no mobility to get up there. So they just have to relatively leave them up there and be high and dry on this low ground.
Look who it is. You saw him in that kill feed, and yet again, a brilliant shot coming out from Ace. He's right up in the enemy backlines, and even then, he finds another kill. This man is in the zone. What a guy.
I mean, so far, Ace has played so magnificently. Suwon did the right thing, though. So he found the pick onto Ace at the beginning of that fight, and then he wanted to pressure out the res that he knew would be coming out from Bun afterwards. But you know what? It was instead the Vexed who said, you know what, guys, I got you, fam. And he shot Suwon out of the sky, and after that, Bun was able to go upside and res up Ace. After that, the tables were easily turned. But there's a Graviton. Will there be a follow-up?
Transcendence is forced out, but even then they lose a player. Ace does get rezzed up and the shatter is there, but the counter Graviton is also there. The Dragon Strike's a little bit too late, still finds a couple and gives Ace all the opportunity he needs to start fragging up again. Watch out for this man because he is everywhere, as we do see the res come through again from Swig and continuing aggression from Suwon and from Ace as they do take that duel again. Suwon is gonna fight Ace still, but doesn't quite find the kill. Suwon does fall back, but the rest of his team is continuing to be aggressive. They're gonna have to fall back a little bit because they do lose Faz, but taking out Psyche is a big opportunity for him. As long as he doesn't die over, it's going to be a continued fight as we see Bun looking for that healing, but Kirkmania on this Genji is bringing out the Dragon Blade. Members fall before he can quite get to them, but he does find those kills now, and this is going to be UOB Zeus looking towards that third and final point.
Now they will take this one down, and they've understood what the problem is here, as Faz switches over to instant. Cloudy will most likely use the Monkey that afterwards they need to contest this Widow. At the moment, she is such a threatening member of UCL's team, pretty much single-handedly winning these fights, as we see Suwon go down here as well as Kirkmania. Also on the Genji, easily punishable. They could switch over the Brigitte on the UCL to stop him from doing anything, because Genji is a very hard hero to play, but easily punishable here. Psyche takes down Cloudy, has the Graviton in the pocket. Maybe we'll wait for Kirkmania to get up to Dragon Blade, but we'll most likely just use it in this next fight.
See the Graviton heating up there somewhere. Just didn't find the right position, unfortunately, there from Cloudy, but we see the fight continue to go on. We do see Faz trying to get some electroshock therapy onto Jurius Davros and make him calm down. He just wants to make him sit down there. We see Dragon Strike come on through. Unfortunately, there is the Transcendence to completely mitigate it. We can see continuing aggression from UOB Zeus as they do find Vex. We see the Primal Rage getting forced out, but Faz is finding too many kills in the backline regardless. And this is just being a front-to-back team fight where the front is the back and the back is the front, because everyone is dying in that backline to some sort of monkey.
This is such a throwback Thursday. It's literally throwback Thursday. They are playing full standard dive here with the Tracer and the Genji. We've not seen this kind of stuff since Season 8. And no, it's working out perfectly well. They leave the Zenyatta behind and just immediately go on the squishy targets in front and take everyone out. And this was the change and the answer they needed to push on through.
Fantastic play from all of them, and Ace tried his little heart out, but in the end just could not find enough on this defense. Now, looking towards this offense, what do you think his chances are?
So Ace on the offense, he has an even better time. I was talking about earlier in the series on King's Row, when you play an attacking Widow, at any point you can switch your attention over to Suwon or the tank line. So Suwon has to play even more carefully now. And at the moment, Ace was finding the duels as a defensive Widow. That just puts question marks for me for how well Suwon is doing. And that is probably why you saw them switch off to the Tracer Genji. And that is a very good thing to do for University of Birmingham. They understood it wasn't working, so like, we'll do what we know works. We'll go together, we'll dive as a team, we'll take out the Zenyatta, we'll take out the backline of the Widow, we'll get Cloud to go in there and try and put a wrench in the works. But the moment, what I'd like to see, and what we are seeing, is the side of UCL playing more of the Pharaoh with the Brigitte as well, which is going to create a lot of pressure in the sky for UOB to deal with.
They are running a Mercy with it so far. I don't think Bun Bun's going to stay on it, because they will run that Mercy, because especially that damage boost can be strong for both Psyche and for Ace. It would be remiss to not. And using that and Vexed's Discords, they can get a lot of damage focus and really just pick one member of the side of UOB, and from there just work forward, because they have been fantastic at doing that, especially with Ace, who once Faz with that shields down, UOB Zeus, none of them are safe.
No, not at all. Now we're going to this next match, and Suwon is moving over to High Burst McCree. Kirkmania is on their old favorite, the Junkrat here. So what they want to do is they just want to control this front line, make sure they can't go in. And this is why you're seeing them all relatively hiding behind the shield, is because they don't want that to happen. They're Ace in the hole. Ace himself is opening up the floodgates.
Yeah, the res does come through, and Kirkmania returns the favor. He doesn't want to let you get away without your own little treat, as we do see the res come through from Bun Bun. We're continuing to see them fight. UOB Zeus are looking for an opportunity here. They know where that Widow is, and they're looking to contest it. Cloudy playing very aggressively, but realizes he doesn't really have the space or the backup to be doing that.
UOB finally pushing them back, but Kirkmania already on to that Riptide. Now, if you can find Bun Bun, reduce the res, possibly Suwon can find Ace, and he won't have to deal with him a second time. But a very lovely Flame Strike will go for the team, giving Game Republic a little bit more ult charge towards his Earth Shatter. Now, they need this as soon as possible, but now that they're corralled in the corner, out comes the Riptide, looking for a member, finds Vex, and they can't res it because he's in an unfavorable position as Cloudy takes that one over.
Yeah, and their supply lines are cut. They pushed all the way up, and they are just going to fall relentlessly. UCL too far forward without any proper defense to their back areas, and as a result, just lose so many members.
Exactly. Vex going down there, Bun Bun going forward. Kirkmania knew. And let's just look at his ult charge. 63% already. Now we're already up to 80%. This man is insane. But now we have the Earth Shadow. We also have the Valkyrie as well. So if you hear that pop, you know that they're going in to win the fight. Swig taking some directs there. Doesn't quite go down, using that extra 20 HP per second to keep her alive. But Ace finds Kirkmania. So no Riptire in this upcoming fight.
He does slide down with a bit of a James Bond-esque move. UCL utilizing a lot of damage here. They have the numbers advantage. It's all looking Gucci for them as they continue to play aggressive. And when you give Ace all of this space, he just rolls all over the place.
Yeah, Vex takes down Cloudy after being demacked by Ace. Ace, once again, I've said this man's name so many times. Down the late spawn caps. Yeah, 1:33 on the clock, so they'll be moving into this next round about 3.5 minutes. On top of that, they have a lot of time to move through to point C.
And it is reminiscent of one of those, actually a lot of undead in the Chinese contenders region, where he is just one of those one-man shows, obviously a little bit struggling in some of his more recent matches, but just such a fantastic hit-scan player, and the team needs to back him up properly, and that's what they're doing here when he managed to find that kill onto T, and they're playing aggressive enough to capitalize on it. Fortunately, the res does come through, and they're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
I think I'd like to see UOB go back to full dive here. It's not as strong on defense, but versus a Widow who can just continue to contest you, you need it. And you can smell the burnt rubber as Ace just eliminates the pyre from the sky. In comes the self-destruct.
He does find one, but Ace also finds one. He's a little bit of an ultimate player himself. Does do a lot. He's going on a hard flank while the rest of his team does undoubtedly fall. He's looking for a setup.
And like you say, I mean, Ace is an ultimate in of himself. You just don't need to charge him up. Kirkmania finally fells the Titan that is Ace. And now Cloudy can start to work on this high ground.
I feel like this is a real mistake from UCL to continue to be aggressive when they've lost Ace. They don't have the pressure. As a result, you do actually see them take out Cloudy, who's a little bit over-aggressive. They've dropped the ultimate, and then the barrage is right there. Luckily for them, Faz does have the shield, and Suwon is going to find a couple of kills too. Kirkmania joining in the fun, and UCL pushed back yet again.
I'd just like to point out Bun Bun. She is for the most aggressive reses that I've seen in my life. And a lot of times she's picking them up because she understands the resources that come out from the enemy team, knows when the key things that are going to take out the fight. So she reads the concussion mines, reads when the charge is down, and then goes in for the aggro reses knowing that there's nothing there to stop her. So very well played to Bun Bun at the moment. They do have the Valkyrie. They also have Infrasight, so they know exactly where this enemy team is. That Kirkmania does not have the luxury of finding, but goes for Ace, misses the shot, and takes down Bun Bun and Ace.
Fantastic play from him, and as a result, this is going to be UOB Zeus looking for that kill on this fight. They're forcing them back, and cleverly, UCL don't invest too much more. Psyche gets a little bit caught out as he is now on that Genji, but in general, not wanting to bleed ultimate charge.
Exactly. So Faz now also has the Earth Shadow, but like you were saying, does not want to bleed ultimate charge, doesn't want to give Kirkmania any more ultimates, as we've seen how quick the guy puts up the damage. Swig still has the Valkyrie in the pocket. Neither team has popped it yet, so no, we haven't seen either team commit to a full team fight as of yet. But as soon as you hear the Valkyrie go, that's when you know it's go time for one of the teams. And there it is.
Fantastic opportunity for this team to engage, but unfortunately, it's going to be the Shatter landing for Green Republic, and Vex finds a couple of kills as well. T does deny him, but there's too much damage. Durius Davros does go down after a couple of kills, but Suwon, with that high noon, is going to start turning around, take out Psyche. It's Ace and Vex versus Suwon and Swig and T. It's going to be 3 versus 2, and they're going to get sent back again. Vex even gets stalled out there. That is crucial, because now they're only going to have enough time for one more fight.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us, Ace, as he sends him packing, as he kicks open the stalls of the saloon. And it will be them. Kirkmania does have the Riptire, and relatively, it will be UCL low on ultimates. They do have the Graviton, but that needs to come out soon because Duras has gone very low. They're going to most likely double this up with the Dragon Blade. They have the Infrasight, so they know where everyone is, and make sure to go for the most optimal Graviton possible. And you see Durios, he's angling himself now.
Keeping it in mind, and Cloudy hit the multiple of these. This Tara is coming out. Suwon has died.
Yes!
Mania does find one. there is going to be that Transcendence forced out. Now the Graviton is still around. The res comes through from Bum Bun. That self-destruct finds 2 from Cardi. Fantastic play. And Curious Davros can't even find enough damage. It's going to be Suwon who finds Bum Bum while all trapped up. Psyche is trying to get something done, but Suwon with this High Noon is going to shut down Psyche. Thanks for that, as they do take this 3rd map. And UOB Zeus, what a team.
Suwon shouting out draw as he pulls the last bullet that he will shoot on that map. But it's not a draw whatsoever. Like, UOB take this one 3-0, but MVP has got to be Ace, right, Rook?
For sure. I mean, just what an impressive player, just consistently putting out so much work. It sucks a little bit to be that player because he put in so much work, and in the end, it was all for naught.